But again, it kind of ties in with this last one. And that saying, a happy wife is a happy life. That, I'm sorry, that goes absolutely right through me. Now, I think if anybody of you know me here, ye know that I like and I believe that it has to be 50-50 in a relationship. So don't get me wrong when I say, well, no, fuck her, fuck that. No, I'm not saying that. My point is this, guys. Not every relationship, whether you're married or just in a relationship, I'm not saying that every couple does this, okay? So let's just put that to bed. Not every couple does this. But those who do, sometimes you got to weigh up what's going on here. You might be trying to keep the girlfriend or the wife or the boyfriend or the husband happy by, look, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do, grand, keep them happy, they're off my back. Well, isn't that number one a problem? If they don't get their way, they're on top of you, they're all over you. Shouldn't they be man enough or woman enough or mature enough to just actually say, well, if I don't get my way here, I'm not going to take it out on my partner. Do you know what I mean? Now, like I'm saying about 50-50, I really do believe in 50-50. Man's got to chip in, the woman's got to chip in. And, well, more importantly, if you're living together, the man's got to provide for the woman. That's the way I look at it. Now, there's some women out there that would argue with me. Grant, fair enough. And that's okay. And that's a different day, different subject. But for me, I would believe in that. And that's okay. Whatever anybody believes in. And it's give and take. Like, what happens if you do let's say, we'll just go an example here now, ladies. What happens if a girl gets her way all the time? And the guy's just like, oh, do you know what? Grand, whatever. Just let her have her way. She'll be happy. She'll be grand. Done. Eventually, if this keeps building and building and it just keeps going and going, that the guy just gives in all the time, don't you think that he might start growing resentment towards his girlfriend or wife? And maybe he'll be bitter and he'll resent her because it's all about her or it's all about him. There's no getting away with it. And coming from a man's point of view, if a man's not getting his way, hopefully he's chipping in. And if he wants to, have the boys over to watch the Super Bowl or the rugby game for a night out, and his woman is just being a complete sufferable hag, let's say. Because don't get me wrong, ladies, men can be complete pricks here too, all right? Like, if she's being impossible, but she always gets her way, don't you think that the guy's in the back of his head resents you? Or she resents the guy? And you could say, well, what about me? It's all about me. Oh, well, that's a nice, healthy attitude to have in a relationship. Very, very healthy. You go get him, Tiger, and you go see exactly how far you get with that attitude, whether you're a man or a woman. That is the most ridiculous scenario I've ever heard. Wouldn't you prefer your husband to be happy? Wouldn't you prefer your wife to be happy, or boyfriend or girlfriend? That you're actually more relaxed with each other? And what if you do feel that they're getting their own way all the time? Why don't you just sit down and talk about it? And like I said, guys, I'm not speaking about every relationship out there. But do you really, let's say Peter's in a relationship now and I'm giving in every 5 minutes, letting her do what she wants, it keeps her happy. Don't you think that I'm going to start to get pissed off eventually? Maybe I'll even resent her. Maybe I actually fantasize, and by the way, I've heard about these stories. You fantasize about your wife getting murdered by someone. I know that sounds very intense, but hey, people think this shit. People think this shit. And again, now that's right going into the dark side of stuff now. We're way down the 100-mile-an-hour intensity limit. And let's bring it back a bit. Maybe the guy's secretly hoping that you'll dump him, or the other way around. You know? Hopefully this helps, guys. You don't want resentment. It's going to screw up your relationship. And I know there's people out there that want to control things. And funnily enough, the people who try to control relationships are the scared shitless people in the first place. In the first place. Because they are getting controlled by someone else outside your relationship and in a different relationship. So in other words, it could have been your mum or dad trying to control you. And because you're so bitter and resentful, then you take it out on your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife. Cut it. Chop the head off the snake here. Toxic behavior. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening today. Hope there was some value in this podcast episode today. And if you ever want to contact me, Peter@thepeterwalshshow.com. Cheers. Bye-bye.